My old friends laughed at my struggling startup until they saw me on Forbes. They say the people closest to you should support your dreams. That's a beautiful lie. When I told my college friends about my startup at what I thought was a casual dinner, they didn't just dismiss me, they performed my humiliation like theater, each person adding their own joke until the entire table was laughing at my expense. A real job rejected you, huh, one said while others recorded it for their stories. They made me feel like the biggest failure in the room, like my dream was a punchline and I was too stupid to get the joke. But here's what they didn't know: while they were busy mocking me, I was quietly building something they couldn't even comprehend. This is the story of how I turned their laughter into fuel, their doubt into determination, and their certainty that I'd fail into proof that I was unstoppable. They thought startup meant struggling. I showed them it meant success. And when my face appeared on Forbes' 30 Under 30 list, their laughter finally died, replaced by something much sweeter: silence. Hey everyone! Before we dive into today's story, let me know where you're watching from in the comments below. Drop your city or country, we love connecting with our global community. If you're enjoying our content, please hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you never miss our amazing stories. Share this with friends who are chasing their dreams. Now, let's get into Liam's incredible journey. I walk into the restaurant feeling good for the first time in months, genuinely excited to see my old college group after 6 months of radio silence while I've been heads down building my startup. Oliver texted me last week, "Bro, we miss you. Let's catch up properly. Dinner at Paolo's, Thursday at 7. Everyone's coming." Everyone means the core group: Oliver, Marcus, Tessa, Jamie, and Rachel. We were inseparable during college, stayed up until 3 a.m. debating philosophy and ambitions, drunkenly promised we'd all make it together and support each other no matter what. The hostess leads me through the warm, bustling restaurant to our usual corner booth. They're already there, drinks half finished, laughing about something on Marcus's phone. The table is covered with appetizers I can't afford: calamari, truffle fries, fancy olives. Oliver spots me first, his face lighting up with that charismatic smile that always made him the center of any room. Liam. Finally, the mystery man appears. He stands for a half hug that feels performative, like we're being watched. "We thought you'd abandoned us for your tech billionaire friends." I slide into the booth, my excitement building. "Sorry, I've been MIA. I've been working on something really exciting that I wanted to tell you all about." "Still doing that startup thing?" Tessa asks, her tone already dismissive, like she's asking if I'm still playing with Legos. "Yeah, actually. We just finished our beta prototype and I'm starting to pitch to investors." The initial response has been really. The table erupts in laughter. Not polite chuckling. Not gentle teasing. Full, mocking laughter that makes nearby tables turn to look at us. Oliver pounds the table so hard the glasses shake. "Bro, a real job rejected you, huh? Is that what this is about? Couldn't hack it in the corporate world, so now you're, what, building apps in your bedroom?" My face burns hot, blood rushing to my cheeks. "No, it's not like that. This is a legitimate business opportunity." Marcus leans forward, grinning like this is the funniest thing he's heard all week. "Dude, do the pitch. I want to hear it. Give us the full entrepreneur performance. Come on, sell us on your $1 million idea. I'm serious. This could actually change how people." "Startups are for people who can't succeed normally," Jamie says flatly, not even looking up from her phone, like my dream is too boring to warrant eye contact. It's like saying you're an aspiring influencer or a content creator. Just code words for unemployed. Just get a real job like the rest of us. Rachel raises her glass in a mock toast. To Liam, who's too good for boring corporate America. Living the dream in mom's basement. They laugh again, harder this time. Someone, I can't tell who, is definitely recording this on their phone. I can see the small red light in my peripheral vision. I force a smile that feels like shattered glass cutting through my face. You know what? I just remembered I have an early meeting with an investor tomorrow morning. I really should go prep for that. Already? Oliver's smile is sharp, predatory. Don't be so sensitive, man. We're just joking around. This is what friends do. We keep each other grounded, right? Right, I manage to say. I grab my jacket and walk out, their laughter following me through the restaurant like a pack of hyenas, past other diners who probably think I'm the punchline to some inside joke. The cold night air hits my face when I step outside, but it doesn't cool the shame burning through my entire body. In the rideshare home, I sit in the back seat replaying every moment. Every laugh. Every smirk. Every eye roll when I mentioned my company. Oliver's voice echoes. A real job rejected you, huh? My hands shake. I pull out my phone and open my project folder, months of code, designs, business plans, pitch decks. I hover my finger over the delete button. What if they're right? What if I am delusional? What if this is just a fantasy I'm clinging to because I'm scared of the real world? My phone pings. A message from Evelyn Zhao, my mentor. How did the investor meeting go today? Excited to hear the update. I stare at the message. I'd forgotten to tell her about it during the chaos of preparing for dinner. The meeting had gone well, not perfectly, but the investor had seemed genuinely interested. I typed back, meeting went okay. Feeling discouraged tonight though. Her response is instant, don't quit now. You're close to something. I can feel it. I close my eyes and breathe. Then I put my phone away without deleting anything. The doubt stays heavy in my chest. But so does something else. Determination. Evelyn meets me at a quiet cafe the next morning. She's in her 50s, a serial entrepreneur who sold her last company for $50 million and now mentors founders she believes in. Tell me what happened, she says, ordering us both coffee without asking what I want. I explain the dinner. The laughter. How small they made me feel. She listens without interrupting, her expression neutral. When I finish, she leans back and crosses her arms. Good. I blink. Good. Great entrepreneurs aren't built by applause, Liam. They're built by rejection. Every person who laughed at you just gave you fuel. The question is, are you going to waste it on self-pity or use it to prove them wrong? I want to prove them wrong. Then stop going to dinners with people who don't see your vision. Start focusing on people who do. She slides a flyer across the table. Regional Innovation Showcase. Next month. 50 startups competing. Judges include investors, journalists, and corporate buyers. I want you there. My stomach drops. My prototype isn't ready. It will be. You have 30 days. She stands up. Stop seeking validation from the wrong people. Start earning respect from the right ones. She leaves me with the flyer and a coffee I'm too anxious to drink. The Regional Innovation Showcase takes place in a massive convention center. 50 startups set up booths showing their products, pitching to anyone who stops by. My hands shake as I set up my demo. The prototype looks good on paper, but I've been having issues with the user interface crashing under pressure. 3 judges approach my booth. One is a venture capitalist I recognize from Forbes. Another is a tech journalist. The third is a corporate acquisition specialist. I launch into my pitch, my voice steadier than I feel. They nod, ask questions, seem genuinely interested. Can we see it in action? The VC asks. I pull up the demo. Click the first function. It works. Second function. Perfect. Third function. The screen freezes. Then crashes completely. I stammer. Technical difficulty. If you give me just a second. The journalist makes a note. The corporate specialist checks her watch. The VC whispers to his colleague, "Too early stage." They move on to the next booth. I stand there, face burning with shame, wanting to disappear. But then a quiet voice behind me says, "Do you have a business card?" I turn around to find a man in his 40s, casual blazer, thoughtful eyes. He's holding my product brochure. "Raj Patel," he says, extending his hand. "Angel investor. Your demo crashed, but your pitch didn't. I'd like to hear more." My heart pounds. Really? Your idea is messy right now. But messy ideas with brilliant cores are my specialty. He hands me his business card. "Send me your deck tonight. I'll review it this weekend." I email him everything the moment I get home. Then I pace my apartment, unable to sleep, checking my inbox every 5 minutes. At midnight, his response arrives. "Your idea is messy, but brilliant. Come to my office tomorrow at 2 p.m. Let's talk terms." I read it 3 times to make sure it's real. Then I laugh. Not the bitter laugh from the restaurant. Something lighter. Hopeful. Maybe Evelyn was right. Maybe rejection was just the beginning. Raj's office is in a sleek building downtown, all glass and minimalist furniture. He greets me with coffee and gets straight to business. "I see the potential," he says, pulling up my pitch deck on his monitor. But potential doesn't pay bills. I need to see execution. "Here's my offer. I'll provide seed funding, $50,000, contingent on you producing a fully functional, market-ready prototype within 60 days. 60 days. 2 months to turn my crashing demo into something people would actually pay for. If you succeed," Raj continues, "we talk about series of funding. If you fail, you return whatever's left of the money and we part ways. No hard feelings." "And if I succeed?" He smiles. "Then you'll have an investor who believed in you when no one else did." I think about Oliver's laughter. About the judges watching my demo crash. About every person who dismissed this as a fantasy. "I accept," I say. We shake hands. The weight of it settles over me. This isn't just embarrassing now if I fail. It's consequential. It's real. And I've never been more terrified or more alive. I disappear from social life completely. No parties. No dinners. No group chats. My days blur into a single rhythm: wake up, code, test, fix, repeat. I pull 14-hour days, survive on coffee and takeout, turn my apartment into a workspace covered in whiteboards and sticky notes. Meanwhile, my old friends keep living their normal lives. Their Instagram stories show weekend trips, rooftop parties, champagne brunches. Someone posts a photo with the caption "Success requires balance" and tags the whole group. Except me. Oliver posts a video titled "Work Hard, Play Harder" where he's clearly drunk at some club, surrounded by people I don't recognize. Someone tags me in the comments with a laughing emoji and the words, "Unlike some people who forgot how to have fun." I stare at the notification. For a moment, anger flares hot in my chest. Then I block them all and get back to work. Let them party. I'm building something they can't even imagine. 6 weeks into development, disaster strikes. A competitor launches a product that looks eerily similar to mine. Not identical, but close enough that industry people start comparing them. I dig into their website, their team, their timeline. They launched 2 weeks ago. Which means they started building months before I even pitched to Raj. But the features they're highlighting? Those are innovations I added recently. Details I only shared with a few people. My stomach drops. Someone leaked my concept. I call Evelyn immediately. Someone stole my idea. Who did you tell about it? You, Raj, the showcase judges, and... I pause, my throat tight. My old friends. At that dinner. Silence on her end. Then, did you sign NDAs with your friends? No. They're friends. Or they were. Lesson learned, Evelyn says gently. Focus on what you can control. Your product is better than theirs. Prove it. But betrayal simmers beneath my ribs. Someone in that group, probably Oliver, took my idea and handed it to someone else. I return to my code with fire in my blood. It's past midnight on day 57 of 60 when the breakthrough happens. I'm running my 100th test of the day, tweaking variables I've already tweaked a dozen times, my eyes burning from staring at code for 16 straight hours. The energy drink cans piled on my desk have created a small aluminum mountain of desperation. I'm ready to give up for the night. Save my work. Get maybe 4 hours of sleep before starting again. But something makes me run one more test. Just one more. I click the execute button and watch the loading bar. The system initializes. Loads the interface. Processes the first command. Then the second. Then the third. No crashes. No errors. No freezing. My heart starts racing. I run it again, this time pushing it harder. More simultaneous users. More complex commands. More data processing. Still perfect. Completely, impossibly perfect. I stare at my screen, convinced I'm hallucinating from exhaustion. But the metrics don't lie. Not only is the system stable, it's performing better than my original projections. The fix I applied didn't just solve the crashing problem. It fundamentally improved the entire architecture. The system is running 10 times faster than before. The user interface is smoother, more intuitive. The data processing is cleaner, more efficient. Every metric is green, exceeding expectations. I push my chair back from my desk, hands shaking. Walk to my window and look out at the city sleeping below. Most people are in bed. Most people gave up hours ago. But not me. This might actually work, I whisper to my empty apartment, my voice cracking with emotion. This might actually work. This isn't just functional. This is competitive. This is real. I text Raj at 2:17 a.m., unable to contain myself, prototype is done. And it's better than I promised. Way better. We need to talk ASAP. I don't sleep. I pace my apartment, run the tests again and again, document everything, prepare presentations, my mind spinning with possibilities I didn't dare imagine before tonight. Raj responds at 6:03 a.m., show me today. Clearing my entire schedule. Come to my office at 10. I shower, change into my one good suit, and practice my presentation on the subway. Everything is about to change. I can feel it. Raj brings me to a private pitch event in a penthouse overlooking the city. 30 investors sit in leather chairs, champagne in hand, waiting to hear from 5 selected startups. I'm the fourth to present. When I launch my demo, the room goes silent. Not the awkward silence from the showcase, focused silence. Interested silence. I walk them through every feature, every innovation, every problem it solves. The demo runs flawlessly. When I finish, 3 hands shoot up immediately. What's your funding goal? One investor asks. Who owns the IP? Another presses. When can we schedule a deeper dive? A third demands. Raj stands in the corner, arms crossed, smiling. After the presentation, investors swarm me with business cards, calendar invites, LinkedIn requests. One woman pulls me aside, I want in on your Series A. Let's talk numbers. I watch my old self, timid, uncertain, desperate for validation, fade into someone entirely new. Someone who doesn't need permission to succeed. My phone buzzes during breakfast. A text from Oliver. Heard you're still doing that little project. Want to grab drinks? I stare at the message. 6 months of silence. 6 months of zero interest in my life. And now, suddenly, he wants to grab drinks. I type and delete 3 responses before settling on, busy. Sorry. He replies immediately, come on man, don't be like that. We miss you. I turn off my phone. An hour later, Marcus texts, Oliver says you're being weird. Everything okay? Then Tessa, Liam, what's going on? Did we do something? I ignore them all. There's a shift happening, subtle but undeniable. They can feel it. They just don't know what it means yet. But they will. Loving the story so far? Drop a comment with your location. Are you watching from New York, Mumbai, Sao Paulo, or somewhere else? We read every single one. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, give us a thumbs up if you're rooting for Liam, and share this with someone who's building their dream. Turn on notifications so you never miss these incredible stories. Now, back to the action. A tech blog publishes a piece about emerging startups to watch. Mine is listed third with the headline, This 26-year-old's platform could revolutionize how we work. The article goes semi-viral. Suddenly industry people are emailing me. A notable VC firm requests a meeting. My LinkedIn notifications won't stop. Evelyn sends me the article with a simple message, told you. My old friends notice too. The group chat I muted months ago lights up with notifications. I open it out of curiosity. Oliver, yo, did you guys see this about Liam? Marcus, wait, is this real? Jamie, holy shit. Tessa, I told you guys he was smart. Rachel, we should all celebrate with him. I closed the chat without responding. They want to celebrate now? Where were they when I needed support? The notable VC firm, Horizon Capital, invites me to their headquarters for what they call a pressure test meeting. I sit across from 3 partners who spend an hour trying to poke holes in my business model. Your user acquisition cost is too high. Your retention metrics aren't proven. This market is already saturated. Every criticism feels like an attack. But I hold my ground, answering each concern with data, projections, case studies. The lead partner, a woman named Diana Chen, leans back in her chair. You've clearly thought this through. I've had to, I say. Nobody was going to hand this to me. She exchanges glances with her colleagues. Then she smirks. Impressive. Very impressive. She slides a term sheet across the table. We'd like to lead your Series A. $2 million at a $12 million valuation. Interested? My hands shake as I pick up the paper. $2 million. That's not seed funding anymore. That's real investment. Very interested, I manage to say. We shake hands. I walk out of the building in a daze. My phone is full of texts from the group chat. I delete them without reading. Word spreads fast in startup circles. Within a week, my old college group knows everything. Oliver messages me directly, bro, this is insane. So proud of you. Let's catch up properly. Drinks on me. Marcus, dude, I always knew you'd make it. We need to celebrate. Tessa, Liam, I'm so sorry if we ever doubted you. You're incredible. Jamie, can we all hang again like old times? Miss you. Rachel. You're literally living the dream. We're all so inspired by you. Every message feels hollow. Performative. Like they're reading from a script called How to Befriend Someone Successful. I leave them all on read. Evelyn notices during our weekly check-in. Your old friends reaching out? How did you know?
Through a gap in the curtain, I spot Ms. Whitfield and Jessica sitting in the third row, whispering to each other. When my name is called, I walk onto the stage on legs that barely hold me up. The spotlight is blinding. I can't see the audience clearly, which is somehow both terrifying and comforting. I open my notebook to the passage I've chosen, the most personal, vulnerable section of my essay. It's about feeling invisible, about being told you're nothing, about the moment you decide to prove everyone wrong. My voice shakes on the first sentence. I pause, take a breath, and continue. By the second paragraph, my voice steadies. The words pour out, raw and honest. I talk about humiliation. About cruelty disguised as teaching. About the adults who break children and call it preparation for the real world. The theater is absolutely silent. When I finish, there's a beat of quiet. Then the applause starts, tentative at first, then building, until people are on their feet. A standing ovation. Through the spotlight glare, I see Ms. Whitfield's face. She's not clapping. I float through the rest of the evening in a daze. Other finalists read their pieces, all of them brilliant, moving, worthy of being here. But the standing ovation I received lingers in my mind like proof that I belong here. During the intermission, a reporter from the local news approaches me. That was powerful, she says. Can I ask you a few questions? She interviews me about my writing process, my inspirations. I'm careful not to mention Ms. Whitfield by name, but I talk about overcoming negativity and believing in yourself when others don't. The interview will air tomorrow on the evening news. After the final performance, the judges retire to deliberate. We finalists gather in a reception area, nervous and exhausted. Some exchange contact information. Others pace frantically. I find a quiet corner and close my eyes, trying to calm my racing heart. Finalists, please return to the main theater, an organizer announces. This is it. The results. We sit in the front row, 12 teenagers who've poured their hearts onto paper. The lead judge takes the stage with a sealed envelope. This year's competition saw record submissions, she begins. Over 5,000 students entered. The work we've seen today represents the best of a generation of voices. My hands grip the armrests. Please. Please. The winner of the youth writing competition, receiving a $5,000 prize and publication in Literary Voices magazine, is. The pause feels eternal. Nora Chen. Wait. That's me. That's my name. I won. I actually won. The theater erupts in applause. Someone nudges me toward the stage. I float up the steps, my vision blurred with tears. The judge hands me a crystal trophy and an envelope. Cameras flash from every direction. The applause is deafening. And then the host says, Nora, would you like to say a few words? A microphone appears in my hand. I look out at the audience, at the faces of strangers who believed in my words. And then I see her, Ms. Whitfield, frozen in her seat, her expression unreadable. This is my moment. I step to the center of the stage, microphone trembling in my hand. My heart pounds so hard I can feel it in my throat. I want to dedicate this award to someone very specific, I begin, my voice echoing through the theater. To the teacher who told me I'd never be anything more than average. Who tore up my work in front of my classmates. Who tried to sabotage my entry to this competition. The audience goes silent. You could hear a pin drop. I want to thank her because she gave me something to prove. She showed me exactly who I didn't want to become. And every time I wanted to quit, I thought about her words and decided to keep going. So thank you, Ms. Whitfield, for pushing me to prove you wrong. The theater explodes with applause and gasps. People are standing again, but this time there's an energy of vindication, of justice served. I see Ms. Whitfield stand abruptly and rush toward the exit. Reporters notice and follow her, shouting questions. I don't watch her leave. I focus on the people cheering for me, celebrating not just my victory but the defeat of bullies everywhere. The story goes viral overnight. Someone recorded my speech and posted it online. By morning, it has 2 million views. The comments pour in. This is what revenge looks like, succeeding despite them. I'm crying. I had a teacher like this too. Ms. Whitfield should be fired. News outlets pick it up. Student thanks bully teacher in award speech becomes a national headline. Reporters dig into Ms. Whitfield's history at our school. Former students come forward with their own stories. A girl who graduated 3 years ago describes how Ms. Whitfield destroyed her confidence. A boy talks about being humiliated in class for having dyslexia. The school board launches a formal investigation. My phone rings. It's Mr. Adler. Nora, they want you to testify. The school board. They're building a case, and your testimony could make the difference. My hands shake. What if it makes things worse? It won't. You already won. Now you're just making sure she can't hurt anyone else. Mr. Adler reveals something I never knew. Over coffee at a diner near school, he shows me documents he's been collecting for months. Ms. Whitfield has done this before, he explains. Not just to you. There's a pattern going back 15 years, targeting students who show promise, breaking them down, sabotaging their success. Why hasn't anyone stopped her? Her family has money and influence in the district. Complaints were filed and buried. Parents were intimidated into silence. He slides a folder across the table. Until now. Inside are printed emails, formal complaints, even a letter from a parent threatening legal action, all swept under the rug. The board can't ignore this anymore, Mr. Adler says. Not with national attention on the story. But they need someone to go on record. Someone credible. Me. He nods. If you're willing. I know it's asking a lot. I think about all the students who came before me. All the ones who'll come after if someone doesn't stop her. When's the hearing? The school board hearing takes place in a sterile conference room with fluorescent lights and uncomfortable chairs. Board members sit behind a long table. Ms. Whitfield sits with her lawyer, her face composed but her hands clenched tight. I sit at a smaller table with my parents beside me. Mr. Adler is there too, as my witness. The board asks me to describe my experiences. I tell them everything, the public humiliation, the torn essay, the sabotage attempts, the threats. Ms. Whitfield's lawyer tries to discredit me. Isn't it true you recorded Ms. Whitfield without her consent? Yes. Because I knew no one would believe me otherwise. Isn't it true you've harbored resentment toward Ms. Whitfield since receiving poor grades? No. I harbored resentment since she told me I'd never be anything and then tried to prevent me from proving her wrong. The board reviews all the evidence, my recordings, the complaint emails, testimony from other students and parents. After 3 hours, they call a recess. When they return, the board chair looks directly at Ms. Whitfield. Effective immediately, you are suspended pending removal proceedings. Ms. Whitfield's face goes white. 2 weeks later, I'm invited back to school to speak at a special assembly. The topic, perseverance and overcoming adversity. I'm nervous walking into the auditorium. These are the same students who witnessed my humiliation. Some laughed. Some stayed silent. A few defended me. Now they give me a standing ovation as I walk onto the stage. I talk about my journey, the lows and the highs. I talk about how the cruelest moments shaped me, how rejection can become fuel if you let it. The people who try to break you, I say, looking out at hundreds of faces, they're usually the most broken inside. Don't let their poison become yours. After the assembly, I walk through the hallways one last time. Past Ms. Whitfield's old classroom, now assigned to a new teacher. Past my locker where that cruel note was left. And then I see her. Ms. Whitfield is at her old classroom door, a cardboard box in her arms, clearing out the last of her things. She's not wearing makeup. Her hair is pulled back messily. She looks smaller somehow, diminished. Our eyes meet across the hallway. For a moment, neither of us moves. I could walk away. I've already won. There's nothing left to prove. But I find myself walking toward her instead. She stiffens as I approach, her grip tightening on the box. "Nora," she says, her voice brittle. "I suppose you're here to gloat." "No." I take a breath. "I'm here to tell you that I became something despite you. Not because of you." Her eyes glisten with unshed tears. For the first time since I've known her, she looks genuinely vulnerable. "I was trying to prepare you for a harsh world," she says weakly. "No. You were passing on the pain someone gave to you." I pause. "I hope you find peace." "I really do. But you can't hurt students anymore." She looks down at the box in her arms, at the remnants of a career built on breaking others. "I'm sorry," she whispers. It might be the first honest thing she's ever said to me. "I know." I turn and walk away. Behind me, students line the hallways, watching. As I reach the exit, they begin to applaud, softly at first, then building until the sound follows me out the doors and into the parking lot where my parents are waiting. In the car, my mom asks, "How do you feel?" I think about the trophy on my desk at home. About the publication deal. About the scholarship offers flooding my email. About Ms. Whitfield's hollow apology. I feel free, I say finally. Because the best revenge isn't destroying your enemy. It's building a life so beautiful that their cruelty becomes irrelevant. It's becoming everything they said you couldn't be, not to spite them, but to honor yourself. As we drive away from the school, I don't look back. I'm too busy looking forward. What an incredible story. Thanks for watching till the end. Please let us know in the comments where you tuned in from. We love connecting with our amazing global community. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, give us a thumbs up if this story moved you, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and hit that notification bell so you catch all our future content. Remember, your story isn't over. Keep proving them wrong. See you in